Hello everyone. It's been a while, hasn't it? Looking fine. If I speak like this, check, check. One, two, three. There's still this weird. Um, I need to get rid of that. So sorry. Um, about this didn't help. Oh, wrong direction. How about now? Better, I guess. How about now? Hmm, not sure. Okay, how about now? Does this work? Oh, goodness, no. Check, check. Ah, if only I knew what was causing this. I think it's the microphone, but is there anything else I could do? Probably not, right? Yeah, I think this is the best I can do at the moment. Unfortunately, but that's what I'll have to deal with. Okay, so let's start today's stream. I started early because I've been trying to stream on a couple of different days already, but nothing came of it because I've been just too tired each night. Um, and there's been other stuff that had to, I have had to take care of. So today I just decided, you know what, I'm gonna start early, so this way I can actually do the stream. Uh, Last time I streamed, I was actually supposed to stream on the following week, as I had said, but then something came up, and then I've had various things to do each week, so I've been too busy to actually stream, just your basic social stuff. And also, my studies are continuing once again. The summer break is over, obviously, because it's September, almost the end of September. So I've been busy with that as well, just in case anyone is wondering. And there's one more thing that has been consuming my time, and that is this project that I'm going to start soon. This music show. I've been preparing for it. It didn't take a whole month. It took me like a week to get some assets ready and prepare for it. Uh, what else? What else? I was supposed to talk about something else as well. Um, oh yeah, and because I don't want that music thing to be this whole stream, I'm also going to play Grim Fandango. It's been a while. I've been I've been meaning to return to that game, and now I finally can. But probably not going to play that very long. Hmm. This is supposed to be kind of a short stream, maybe max 2 hours in total. And this first portion is going to take, I don't know, I haven't actually rehearsed it or scripted it or anything. I'm guessing it's gonna take like half an hour, maybe a little more. Who knows? Who knows how it'll go? Um, yeah. Now I don't think I have anything else for this beginning here. So first, before I was actually forgot that I cannot copy paste text from one one computer to another one. So I type this message I need to send chat before I start the show. Mhm. Okay, I think that's the message, and I hope I know how to do this. I need to pin this. So can I just send it and in? Yes. All right. I hope everything goes well because I am now ready to start, I think. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Tuxor's Music Show, Episode 1. For those who don't know, uh, I've been meaning to do other things on this Twitch channel uh, than just playing video games. I've been wanting to create and publish music as well. And now I've finally done it. And I created this little show just so I could, have a place to publish it, pretend I'm a DJ, all that fun stuff. Um, I haven't. I'm mostly improvising everything I'm supposed to be saying. I do have this small slip of paper with like notes for what I should go through. So I have 6 songs in total, where well, they are demos. Um, and and then I have a couple of things I want to talk about in between the songs. And now I'm freezing. I shouldn't be. So I guess I should just start following this list. So first, the writing process. just shortly. It did take some time to come up with these songs. I think the earliest one I started working on over a year ago. I need to check the actual date for it though. But it didn't take me that long to write all of this. I've just been busy with other things. So it takes some time when you're measuring it with a calendar. If I'm only working on a song like 10 minutes or 30 minutes or 1 hour a day, and not even every single day. Most of this work, though, because I, I, I wanted to pressure myself into completing this little project, I did most of the work required for composing all this stuff in July of this year. And then I recorded these tracks in August for the most part. But about the recording process, later. The lyrics to these songs are, well, they are things that have popped into my mind, and I I'd like to ask for a favor from anyone who's listening. Um, Even though each one of these songs was inspired by something that I have experienced myself firsthand or seen when I've been out in the world, whatever, there's a clear path from the initial inspiration to these finished products, but you can't trace it back to the origin without knowing what it is. What I'm trying to say is feel free to analyze these songs or hear them in whatever way you wish, but don't assume that I personally wanted to say something specific with any of these songs, just in case. Just throwing that out there. Also, these songs are in English because, well, first of all, my audience here speaks English, probably. And also, there was another reason, which is that, okay, so, for those who don't know, I'm actually Finnish. I didn't want to write these songs in Finnish because Finnish is a much more, how should I put this, intimate language. It would have felt weird to write some of these songs in Finnish. The way they are written, I would have had to change my approach because otherwise it would have sounded a little weird if I just kept the lyrics the same. It was just easier to write these. Well, essentially, it was easier to write the poems, what my thoughts into these lyrics or poems or songs, whatever term you want to use there in English. And I mostly wrote these songs just sitting here in this very chair in my living room, jamming with my acoustic guitar and humming some rhymes, tunes. Essentially, they evolved into words and such. Also, I need to apologize. I am a little nervous. You can probably hear it because I'm not used to. Okay, I've been streaming for over a year now on Twitch, but I have not really shared anything creative with other people. So please excuse me if I'm a little nervous, but it is time to start playing these songs, I think. So here's the first song. Autumn Time.
leaves are falling from the sky. It's autumn time. The weather's fine for the last time, and the day is warm. It reminds me of the summer days that went before, and I'm just left here longing for more. Before I couldn't even think of living without you, but now I really have to. The wind picks up a speck of ash from a candle. I lit up to reminisce about the bygone times. It flies to the clouds and soon out of my reach, and in my place it'll hear your speech. Like letters I hope they arrive at your door. I'll send many more. Tomorrow's forecast for the day says lots of rain, but when I go out I leave home my umbrella. I would rather see and feel all of those tears and dispel all of my lingering fears. So now I know that both of us will always remember our times together.
And there you go. That was the first song called Autumn Time. Just quickly, it started as a song about missing a person. It probably evolved into something else. This is a good example of how the initial inspiration can just start a life of its own and evolve into something else. Because first, this whole song started just so one day I felt like I need to hang out with someone. It's not something that happens often. I'm not super lonely person. I have friends and family and all that. But you have days when you feel like I could be doing something else with someone. But there's none of that left in this song anymore, because it evolved into something completely different when I extended that original idea. I embellished it and added stuff to it, and now it's probably something completely different. You can still probably hear some of that in this song, but that's the story of this particular song, just explained very briefly. But now I feel like I need to address before I continue, because this I forgot to put this on my list. It's about the way I performed and sang this song. I did this whole thing in my living room, which means that I couldn't sing super loudly. So my singing voice here is not the best in the world. I could sing better, which is partially the reason why these are all, I count these as demos, because I want to re-record these later, probably in the winter, like December maybe, or January. But at some point I'll re-record these. Not only for that reason, but I'll come back to that later. Next on this list I have the arrangement. So first, all these songs were supposed to be... They were supposed to sound different from each other in more ways than they do now. For example, this song was supposed to have background singers. Obviously, that was just gonna be me. Yeah, but this was supposed to have background singer parts, like harmonies. But it didn't sound very good on this device that I recorded this with. I'll talk about it more a little bit later. But yes, if it wasn't clear, I recorded all the parts of this song, these songs, including the singing and all the instruments. But yeah, so there was gonna be one of these songs was supposed to have a piano, for example. All these little things, but then I had to simplify it. So I created this standardized. I just did air quotes. You can see it. Ensemble with like 2 guitars, drum set, a bass, an organ, the singing, and I used that for every song, and it turned out great. I didn't need to go crazy with the arrangement. Although, if I had more advanced equipment available, or more, musicians to work with than just myself, yeah, I could rework some of these. But I think these work nicely together now that they have similar sound to them, because the instruments are all the same across these songs. Not every song uses the same instruments, but for example, I didn't just stick a piano to one of these songs, or and there are no background singers. It's just me singing the lead in every song. Things like that. And now I was supposed to do... Hold on. Quickly writing the title of the next song, because I'm so professional with this stuff. 2 out of 6, good. So the next song is called Never Without You. It's not really based on anything personal, this one. Some of these are, some of these aren't. I'm not gonna go much into detail because, as I said before, I don't want you to try to figure out where these songs came from. But this one, I can say, is just purely me trying to write a generic I can't speak, a generic song, like a poem with melodies, essentially, and it worked out great. I think. Here you go. Listen.
On my arms I feel warm rays of the sun. It is a sign that it's time to have fun. I'd like to shine like them, and I'd feel happy then, but no, never without you. All meadows, dandelions sway in the wind. Although you can't tell if they waltz or swing, I'd like to dance like them, and I'd feel happy then, but no, never without you. Above trees I see birds fly through the sky. Without set path they glide in blue divine. I'd like to fly like them, and I'd feel happy then, but no, never without you. A nearby forest is filled with oak trees. They stand tall and recite their old stories. I'd like to age like them, and I'd feel happy then, but no, never without you.
And that was song number 2, Never Without You. And I just want to quickly clarify, because I feel like I need to. I mean, come on, what am I gonna do here? So, when I said that this didn't like stem from anything, I would, in general, stand by these words if I had a reason to sing them. I just want to say, because there's this one, and then there's later another love song. Just want to say that they are not, they aren't directed at anything. I'm saying this just in case someone who knows me watches this. They don't just spread any rumors about me, you know? So that's enough of that. So as I already mentioned, I use these 4 instruments and then my lead track singing on each of these songs. Okay, not everything on every song. So this is like the basic band. It's the structure of the band that I used. And the electric guitar I played twice. There was a rhythm guitar and solo guitar. Not on this song though, there was no solo guitar because there was an organ solo instead. But yeah, I have this multi-effects pedal that I hooked the guitar to achieve different sounds for the rhythm guitar and the solo guitar. So with the rhythm guitar, it's most clear with the first song, Autumn Time, because I tried to mimic. Oh well, no, wait. Also the song. So these 2 songs, I tried to mimic this slightly distorted, like vintage 50s, early 60s sound. I think I've managed that very well. I mean, fairly well. And then for the solo guitar, I tried to mimic. Not exactly. That was my intention wasn't to copy it 100%, but I took inspiration for the sound from George Harrison for those who know his songs, probably get what I mean, especially with this next song and then song number 5. What I was trying to go for with the guitar sound, it ended up sounding different from his sound, which is a good thing, really. Now it has my personal spin on it, because because I didn't script any of this in advance, I can't find the words to describe the sound that I was going for. It's like this sharp, slightly distorted sound with some chorus mixed in and a couple other effects, but I just can't remember now exactly which ones they were. I did have some troubles with the organ though, because I didn't want to use this. I have like proper keyboards as well, electric pianos, 2 by Technics and 1 by, was it Casio? Casio. How do you pronounce that? The last one I don't really use for anything. I just got it for free, and it's a fun toy, really. These Technics keyboards they are amazing, but I didn't want to use them because I also have like a proper electric organ. I think it just outputs square waves or saw waves. It doesn't really have a lot of options. It has 2 sliders. One is for the shape of the waveform. I think it's not here right now. It's like 3 meters away from me, so I can't see what the options were. But it has like a slider from strings to flute, I think. But I think what that really does is just changes the waveform from square wave to something else, like maybe a modified square wave, or something more like a sawtooth. I should probably look into that. And then there's a vibrato slider as well. So on its own, it's not much, but I hooked that also through the guitar effect pedal, and I added some chorus to it. And I don't remember if I added anything else, but I wanted to make it sound like these old electric organs from like the 60s with the Leslie sound. I wanted to have something similar to that. And while it's not exactly what I was going for, yeah, it's fairly good in my opinion. There was a problem though. Excuse me. It's that the organ. Oh, by the way, sorry if this, if I sound weird. I'm like, by instinct just trying to look at the organ while I speak, and it's behind me, so I'm turning slightly away from the microphone. I should probably try to do that. So the problem with that organ is that it only has, well, it has 2 options for audio output. It has a speaker, and then it has a headphone jack. And I could have just recorded the organ speaker with this microphone that I have here. But that didn't sound like a good idea. So I opted to use the headphone jack instead. But the problem with that is it's super noisy. It's even noisier than this microphone is right now. And you can probably hear it on every... It's the... If you hear like a loud... I don't know how that sounded. But if you hear like a loud white noise on these recordings, that's the organ making that sound. So what I had to do was, on the mixer of my recorder, I had to turn down the highest frequencies on the equalizer try to balance things a little bit. And it did help, but it also changed the sound of the organ to sound less like 60s organs and more like something I would call a clown organ. It started sounding like circus music. But it's not too bad. I mean, it works with the rest of the instruments, giving it context in which you need to hear the organ. Oh, yes. Then I have two more instruments. I have an electric drum set. Nothing fancy there. I mean, like recording-wise, the drum set itself is I like it very much. And then I have this acoustic bass, which excuse me, I need to clear my throat. There you go. I'm not used to talking this much. I need to stream more often. So, this acoustic bass. When I bought this drum set, was it last year or year before? I don't even remember anymore. My sense of the flow of time is completely screwed. It has been since 2020. But enough of that. This acoustic bass, I wanted to buy this bass at the same time that I bought the drum set. Because the drum set was so expensive, I just went for the cheapest bass that I could find. And it's this acoustic fretless bass ukulele. It's honestly probably the most fun instrument that I have had. At least currently. And it creates a decent sound, as you can hopefully hear on these recordings. That's it about the instruments. Next, we have a song called The Fireflies, which I should write down like this. There we go. Just quickly before I start this song, it is I started writing this song because I wanted to write like a song that has like a positive attitude built into it. But at times I feel like maybe the lyrics are a little bit too much in that direction. Like essentially the last part sounds to me maybe a little bit pretentious, even if I wrote it myself. But this is a song that it's meant to give me a good mood whenever I hear it. And I was sorry for the pause. I just had a thought in my mind. I was supposed to say something else about it as well, but I forgot. So I guess just go. Song number 3, Fireflies.
Once again, the end of day is nigh, when I wait for the fall of night, and my fleeting memories of noon will start to fade real soon. No stars, no moon in sight, when I look at the skies outside, only thing to see through my window pane are the drops of pouring rain. Went for a walk towards the nearest park, start. After all, I couldn't find any light, even if I traced back the trail behind. Cause I can't find back time, so I can't get the sun to shine. I have to find a new light source to see what's in front of me once more. this eclipse today. I prevail, and sure enough, countless little drops go flying by my side. One by one they light up all around me. I know that it is the key for escaping this perilous shade, and my fall has been delayed thanks to all those fireflies. I'll see till the sun will rise, and I won't stumble on my way to this sanguine brand new day.
And there we go. That's the song number 3 called Fireflies. When I was editing these videos for these, I caught that one lyric where I say key 4. Isn't it supposed to be key 2? There's also this one later song, the song number 5. It's not the next one, it's the next one after that, where I would like to I I wanted to change one lyric, but then I forgot when I recorded the singing part for the song. So it has a lyric which will not be part of the re-recorded version whenever I do that, unless I forget. That might happen as well. So I've talked about how I wrote these songs, how I arranged them for the recording, what instruments I used. The actual recording process was a fun experience, because I used this 4-track tape recorder to record all of these songs. I bought it mostly just for fun, because I like technology like that, where I can do things on my own and directly, be in the control of things. And also, it just, I don't know, there's a certain charm to it for me, where I can work with obsolete technology. Cassette tapes, in this case. Maybe that's just me being nerdy, but that's the truth. It did have some challenges though. For example, I said 4-track recorder, which means it can only record 4 tracks. But I had 6 different parts for some of these songs. 2 guitars, drums, bass, the organ, the singing. So I had to do this overdubbing process where I would record whatever I was playing or singing and one of the tracks together into a new track, which is something that these machines are designed. That's a thing that these machines can do, because that the people who have designed them and manufactured them are aware of that challenge of only having 4 tracks. But the problem is that because I oh right, I should explain. You have probably, now that you've been listening to these songs, you've probably noticed that I mix these in a particular way. I wanted to mimic this stereo sound from the 50s and 60s, where, well, early 60s anyway, where the instruments are hand hard left, hard right, or they are dead in the center. For one, I think it just sounds good. Maybe I'm just used to it because I listen to a lot of music from that era. But it's not, at least it's not a negative for me that the songs have been mixed that way. And number two, I I listened to these in mono and I couldn't quite hear all the instruments, so I wanted to do this in stereo. But because of I only had 4 tracks, each of them is a mono track, which means that a single instrument, or sometimes 2 instruments, have to come up from a specific direction. And I just felt like, left, right, and center makes the most sense. That's the most clear way I can arrange these instruments spatially. If it makes sense what I'm trying to say, I hope it does. And there would have been no problems with that, apart from, some people dislike it if you do it that way. But in the recording process itself, it should have been just fine. But the way it's done is, you, for example, you want to record track number 1 and then, let's say, the bass part onto track number 2. What you do is you pan the channel 1 to the right, you put your mic input all the way to the right, and every other track is is either silent or hard panned to the left. And then you record whatever is on the right channel in the stereo mix to track number 2. And it should work just fine. But there's something, either I'm misusing the machine or there's something wrong with it, where if I hard pan the track number 1, well, okay, any of these tracks, but I'm just staying within this particular example. If I hard pan the track number 1 to all the way to the right, it muddies the sound. And I realized this when I was done with like 90% of this project, that what was going on. I had been noticing that this deterioration in the sound quality of some of the instruments at earlier points, but then it only clicked what was going on when I was almost done. And at that point, I was like, I'm not gonna re-record all of this. Now I'll just have a good excuse to release all of these as demos and not care about, the slight mistakes with the guitar solos, with the, I don't want to say lackluster, but not optimal singing with these tracks. With those already in the bag, this was just a nail in the coffin. Like, these are not going to be the official tracks for these songs. I'm going to re-record everything later after I've gained this experience. I mean, and this was an experience. It was fun. This is just a hobby for me. So, time well spent for me. I really did have fun time doing all of this from the beginning to the end. But before we get to the very end of this show, I still have like half of the songs to play for you. But luckily, I'm almost done with this list of things I want to talk about. There's just one more thing, which means that you are going to get 2 songs played right after the other. First one of them is song number 4, which is titled Tides of Time. Before I play it, I just want to say I like how it sounds. I think it sounds amazing. Well, taking into account how I recorded this. But I'm not a huge fan of the lyrics. that I came up with the song. And the more I listen to this, I think the first two verses are just fine, but the last part at the end, I just wanted to throw that into the trash altogether and rewrite the whole thing. The reason why it's, well, I consider it, this song, unfinished is because I was running out of space on the tape. I mean, there's still 2 more songs after this, but when I had to calculate how much each song was gonna take, this was one of the 2 songs that I had to kind of cut short. So I only had so much space for lyrics left, and also I was kind of running out of inspiration for this song, because if you listen to the songs, it's clear that I was, okay, it's probably not clear, but I was just, at the moment when I started writing this song, I was just mad at something. Nothing specific, it was just something I encountered online. And I'm not a person who holds a grudge like that for very long, so because I didn't write the song in one sitting, it just kind of stopped coming. So I had to, I essentially I had to force the last part out so I would have something there. And now I'm thinking, you know what, that was probably a mistake. I just want to throw it away and rewrite the whole thing, or scratch the whole song. But I also kind of don't want to do that, because I think it sounds great. Also, this is the song where I'm the most proud of the arrangement. What I mean by arrangement is all the little things, like which instrument is playing at which time, and what little embellishments they are doing. I think, like, sound-wise, this is my second favorite. The next one is my favorite overall. But now, I think I've been talking enough, so here you go. Track number 4, Tides of Time.
Time is flowing by, and I'm floating along in my little barken boat. I see fools on the shore trying to hang on and tight, but they don't realize they can't escape the tides of time for very long.
And there was the song Tides of Time. As I said, I kind of want to rewrite the last part because I felt like I feel like I lost part of the tactfulness of the message of this song there when I started directly addressing people, imaginary people, but people nonetheless. Oh, and just a quick side note: it's not about like climate change denial or something like that. Even if you might think that based on the lyrics, they are slightly more metaphorical than that. Okay, yeah, then we have the next song here, which is called Lonely Traveler. This is the song that I am mostly proud of. I think this song has great lyrics, apart from the one that I forgot to change. It's the part where I sing, "There's no talking around." I wanted to change that to "with only silence around," but I forgot, and I left the older lyric in. But apart from that, I think, well, this is like my masterpiece. Well, in my opinion, this is the song that I'm most proud of out of these six. This one too, as I said, all of these songs are somehow related to something that I have experienced or seen or something like that. Once again, don't take this too seriously, because for these songs I exaggerate, I embellish, I mutate everything into a story that I can present in a song form. So it needs to be a little more dramatic than the reality is. And I mean little more, that's an understatement. I exaggerated a lot. Is there anything else? Not really, no. So let's just go. Track number 5, Lonely Traveler.
I'm a lonely traveler, looking for a place to stay, until I can find some place to call home. I'll be wandering round in this vast and empty world. Shells of people roam the streets, finding out who's a friend and foe can be hard, but I'll smile and go on. Whenever I walk on the streets of a town, I get lost in my thoughts, there's no talking around. With no one to greet me, what else could I do? Meanwhile I can just enjoy the view. Every now and then I attend a play where all the parts are set in stone. When the curtain falls, I hear the puppets dance. I got no backstage pass. It looks like I shall try anew and on the move I will remain. I wish I could just build a town to settle in. Maybe one day.
And there you go. That was the song called Lonely Traveler. There was actually one thing I forgot to say about the last song, The Tides of Time, which was, you could clearly hear in the beginning there was this loud noise in the left ear. That's what the organ was doing. So I've learned my lesson. Next time I'm using this Technics keyboard and one of its organ sounds, I just wanted to use this, what I assume is a square wave generator put through this guitar pedal, and it would have sounded great if it wasn't for that noise. But that's in the past. That's in the past now. About this song, well, okay, not this song specifically. I just want to clarify why I'm so adamant on insisting that you don't analyze these songs too much, is because I noticed that I wrote like all of these songs in the first person, right? The singer, well, in this case it's me, it's always it's I something or me something. And I just felt like I needed to point out that that's just because it's mostly because it's just easy to write songs that way. But it doesn't mean that you can just assume that I feel or think whatever feelings or thoughts these songs might cause in you who are listening to this. That said, to reiterate, I do welcome all interpretations to these songs, because these are essentially art. Whether it's good or bad is, of course, everyone's opinion, but these are art to which you can then apply your own experiences, feelings, opinions, whatever, which could be different from mine, which makes you hear these songs in a different light than I maybe wrote them. And I just want to make it clear that that's a thing that could be happening. So I was supposed to say something, but I got so nervous I forgot. So moving on the list, I promise I'm leaving that topic behind now. And there's actually one last thing. You would think that recording these songs was the last part of this journey. No, it wasn't. Because there is still one final part, which I have written down as digitizing plus publishing, which is the part that I'm doing right now. Well, okay, digitizing was first. I recorded these on my PC through the output of the tape recorder. Nothing special there. But then after I had these in... Hold on, I had these in WAV files. Yeah, recorded these as WAV files. Then I used Windows Movie Maker to make these awesome lyric videos that you've been seeing throughout the stream. It was just easy to work with that. Such an ancient program, but powerful for purposes like this. doing something very simple. Uh, so here we go. Now I'm just streaming. Essentially, I'm just talking about these songs, and I'm streaming these videos for you that I made. And I'm later, uh, not tonight, I'm thinking maybe tomorrow, I'll be uploading these songs to YouTube. And if you are over on Twitch, listening to this program, when these are on YouTube, there will be a link somewhere on my channel to the YouTube channel. If you're watching this on YouTube, there will be a link to the music channel somewhere. And in the actual videos of these songs, there will be links to this recording of this music show. Then up links all around. Should be in places whenever I get to do all of this. But yes, these songs should be up at some point. But now I don't think I can think of anything else to talk about. So it's time to play the last song, which is called I'd Like To. It's another love song, and I need to... Oh, whoops. I erased the whole thing by accident. Text, I mean. Like, the lyrics to this song are a little... How should I say this? I forgot the word that I was supposed to use for this. They are not as sophisticated as maybe these other songs try to be. Because I wanted to write a love song which would have be which is supposed to be written. Yeah, sorry, I just had to think of the correct verbs and tenses in English. I wanted to write a song whose lyrics are as if they were written by someone who doesn't quite know how to write like a sentimental love song. I don't know if I succeeded in that or if the lyrics are actually good by accident, but my intention when I started writing this song was, I don't want to write anything super serious. And I also don't want to write anything super generic, like the song you heard earlier, Never Without You. I'm not saying that's like a super generic song, but I listen to a lot of, as I said, I listen to a lot of 50s music where I can hear like common themes and like rhymes that appear in every other song you hear. I wanted to avoid that, and I wanted to, approach this romance thing from a completely different angle, and this is the result. I don't know if it's I don't know how good it came out, but it's supposed to be just lighthearted fun. Well, most of it. There are sections which are more negative in tone, but that's part of the story. Anyway, the song will probably speak for itself better than I can. So please listen, take a listen, and form your opinion after, whether you like it or not. Oh, and yes, this is the other song that I had to cut slightly short because I was running out of time. There was not much tape left. I would have... I got enough lyrics in, but the outro is a little too sudden to my taste. There should have been something else there, in my opinion, but I just didn't have a chance. But anyway, that's enough of that. Here's the actual song. Song number 6, I'd Like To.
Please tell me that I've understood, that I haven't misread your mood. I'd like to tell you how much I'd like to spend all my days this close to you. Some say love fills the world, so I'd like to ask you, girl, would you like to gather some with me? Or should I just leave you be? Please don't turn and run away, 'cause with you I wanna stay. Ooh. I like having you near me, and even if you don't return my feelings, please be my friend. The world can be a lonely place, I'm surrounded by much space. Together we could change that any day, unless you want it to be that way. When things don't go my way, your smile will make my day. Ooh. You mean a lot to me, and I'd like to love you, and I dream you feel the same.
And that's it. That's the last song. I'd Like To. Once again, I just want to say that I had fun writing and recording and, just playing these songs whenever I was working with them or just on my own. I probably would have, jammed along with these while the songs were playing. Not audibly, though. I muted my microphone every time a song was playing. But I probably would have played along if I hadn't broken a string on my acoustic guitar. Oh, that's right. Did I mention that I wrote these songs by strumming just some chords and writing these lyrics with my acoustic guitar specifically, not those electric guitars? Not that it changes much. I hadn't explicitly written it down in my notes, but that was something I meant to mention. Well, that's about all that I have to say during this show. And it looks like it took me like an hour to get through all of this. Meanwhile, I was like, yeah, these songs, they only last like 15 minutes total. And I'm probably gonna have another 15 minutes to talk about them. Maybe a little more. So I was like 15 minutes for songs, about max 30 minutes for the speech, but I didn't check at what time exactly I started. But currently it looks like it took me like an hour to get through this, which is fine. Not in a hurry to do anything. But just before I end, this is not a moment where I would take questions from the chat. But since no one is actually watching this stream right now, I don't have any questions there to answer. But if you have any questions for me If you're watching this on Twitch, you can leave me a comment in the suggestion box. It's titled feedback. It's in the panels down below. If you're watching this on YouTube, feel free to leave comments below this video or the individual songs. Criticism is welcome, as long as you take into account everything I've already said. Also, I don't want to be overly critical of myself, so if you think these songs are actually good, then that is even more welcome. If you want to let me know that. And for the future, as I said, I'm probably going to be re-recording these songs sometime in the winter. That's my current idea for the schedule. I could do it earlier, but I'm lending my electric guitar to my sister, so I don't have that right now to use. So I'm missing an instrument, and also because I can't use the organ, I need to figure out what's the best way to play this Technics keyboard instead, and I'm busy with other stuff right now, so it's probably gonna happen during December. That's what I was originally thinking of. But no promises. As always, those who know me from my gaming stuff on Twitch, if I say something is gonna happen at some point, it could change if something more important pops up. That's the initial plan right now. I also have other songs in the works, but I probably don't have time to finish those the same way I've finished these, because when I did these songs, when I finished writing these songs, I was on a summer break. I had lots of time. Now I don't. So those next songs probably have to wait. But I can say this much: they are not gonna be similar to these, in the sense that that next batch of songs, whenever it comes out, is gonna be much more 50s styled. Like there's think like doo-wop, think Buddy Holly, that sort of thing. This was more inspired by the Together Again album by Diana de Belmont's, George Harrison's songs, as I said. Not that I'm comparing myself to those artists, but that's the sort of vibe that I was going for with these lyrics and instrumentations and all that. Like that late 60s sound, or like mix of early 60s, late 60s sound. Like this, maybe a little folk rocky feeling mixed with like obviously old themes and parts. Like I hope you can hear this. Like the bass, for example, going like this, playing the roots and the fifths. It's also a mixture of things I like. But now I think I'm gonna end the show here. So if you have any more questions for me, feel free to leave them for me anywhere you want, and I'll probably answer if your questions are on topic. But for now, if you stuck around this long, thank you so much for listening. I really do appreciate it if you did. You don't even have to like the songs, but if you gave them a listen, thank you. So this was Tuxor's music show. Oh, by the way, Of course, I forgot something. It's me I'm talking about. For those who don't know, and this I should have probably said this in the beginning, Tuxor or or Tuxor, if you roll the R, it sounds more Finnish. Um, is my nickname in real life, and Sebastian Tiger, which is what you can see on the screen, is my online handle because there are other people with this same name. Tuxor, that is. I don't really care which one you call me, but just so you know, if you're wondering who the heck is this and who is this, it's the same person. It's me. So Tuxor is just my name. Sebastian Tiger is my online handle. That's the difference. But now I'm done talking. I thank you for listening, and who knows when the next episode is gonna come out. But when it comes out, I'll be streaming it on Twitch on this channel, twitch.tv/Sebastian Tiger, written without any spaces or anything, just like this. Thanks for listening, and goodbye. And oh boy, there we go. I don't think I'm going to do something like this. I'm gonna unpin this message here. Okay. I honestly, it took me a lot of courage to do that. And now that I've done it, I don't feel scared at all, but I do feel exhausted. So, I am going to take a break before I move on to Grim Fandango. So here are the songs for this break. As if you hadn't already had enough of music tonight. It's the timer. So these are like two example songs that if I had the skills and the resources and the instruments and all that, and I had a band, I would like to write songs like these. These two songs, they just sound great. Time in My Heart for You by Tion and the Wanderers, and Run of the Mill by George Harrison. Great songs that I very much like. But as you can see on the screen, after the break, I will be playing Grim Fandango. I don't know for how long, but I'll see you in 7 minutes. See you soon.